Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, known as Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing The Miller Women, written by Kelli Hawkins. It's a thriller, very psychological in nature, extremely so. It's primarily about secrets. So the overall theme, I think, in this book is about secrets. Secrets you keep from your family and your friends, secrets you keep for many years. Then what happens when those secrets are found out? When your chickens come home to roost, if you will, what happens then? How far do you go to protect those secrets? Because those secrets could not only hurt you, but other people you care about. This book delves into those questions. Of course, it's about other things as well, other events in the story, but the overall theme, I think, is secrets, long hidden secrets that come to light. This book mainly focuses on 3 women, and each of these women are point of view characters in the story, and they're all in the same family. So we have the grandmother, Joyce, we have her daughter, Nicola, and we have Nicola's daughter, Abby. So all 3 women have a strong voice in this book, and they're all very engaging, they're very compelling in different ways, and all very well written characters in different ways and for different reasons. But each of these characters, these strong characters in the story, they have secrets. Sometimes you don't know about the secrets early on, you have to wait. When you learn about those secrets, how will it make you feel about the characters? For me, it made me think differently about the characters. Not in a negative way per se, but just differently about them, because those secrets, they are shocking, they are stunning, they're very powerful, and you can see just how damaging they could be to people in the story. So anyway, enough about that, because I'm not going to tell you the overall plot. I'm not going to delve into the mystery in this story, because this book is about a mystery, not just one mystery. There's different mysteries tied to different characters. Apart from the 3 main characters, we have a main mystery, like a present day mystery, about the disappearance of a schoolgirl called Cara. Now Cara is the same age as Abby. Remember, Abby is the daughter of Nicola and the granddaughter of Joyce. So Cara goes missing. Nobody knows why, where she's gone, who's taken her. It's a mystery. So of course the police are involved. And one little twist in this book is Nicola is dating a police detective. That's a little thing that plays out in the story in certain ways, because Nicola wants to be a journalist. She wants to be like a hard-hitting investigative journalist. And she's trying to get involved in the disappearance, I think, in this book. She wants to report on it. That causes tension between different characters in the story. Another kind of layer in the book. But anyway, this disappearance of Cara, you'd think it would be the biggest thing in this story. In some ways it is, but in some ways it gets pushed to the background. So imagine you're working on designing an image like a logo or a thumbnail, and you've got different components, and you're just moving them around, pushing some to the background, to the front, trying to work out how it all works. This book is like that. At different times, different things are pushed to the back. Things are brought to the front. Then it swaps. And it's changing all the time. This book feels like that all the way through. Cara's disappearance is sometimes the big thing, and sometimes pushed to the background. But when it's pushed to the background, it's always there, because characters are always talking about it, thinking about it. Other characters, small characters, come into the scene and they mention it. Or a character hears a news report, sees something on TV, reads something in a paper about Cara. So it's always there in the background. That's interesting in this story, I think, because in some ways it feels like a crime novel, but the crime's not the prominent thing in the story all the time. Characters are. And mainly the 3 main characters, the 3 Miller women, in the same family. Because the crime, even though it's not happening to them, it impacts them directly, because Cara was always a part of their lives for a very short time, but a part of their lives in different ways, in all of their lives. It's almost like Cara forcibly put herself in their lives. You get that feeling in the story. So these 3 women are tied into that crime, it seems. And through that, we start learning about their secrets. Some secrets from years ago, even decades ago. But you learn about their secrets in this book. I like the way that plays out. And those secrets impact how they react, how they think, how they even talk in their present day life. So all that feels so consistent, so well done. It makes it all very complex in certain ways. I think those characters are well written and just perfect for a book like this. What makes the characters stand out so much in this book is their flaws. In a book like this, where it's very psychological, I think flaws are important. I think those character flaws that make characters just feel more realistic, like they fit into the world. They're not perfect. They have doubts, insecurities, they make mistakes, they say the wrong things, they do the wrong things sometimes. Characters like that in books like this just fit those books perfectly because it makes the whole book, the whole community they're in, feel realistic. Also, the setting in this story is a small community. When you have crimes in small communities, it feels more sinister, more chilling, it's more powerful because, small communities you always hear about don't have many crimes. Big crimes, constant crimes happen in big cities, bigger communities. In small communities, it should be just nicer. It should be safer. But real life doesn't work like that. So a crime in a small community, in a book, is more powerful. So when you have these characters that engage you and compel you to be involved into the story, it just makes everything stand out so much. It's more powerful. Character reactions are a big important part in a book like this, and characters react in a great way in this story. If characters didn't react in such a powerful way, if those reactions didn't fit those characters or the setting or the community feel as well, books like this wouldn't work. I'm deliberately not mentioning too much about the mysteries in this book. I don't want to give anything away about the mysteries. I've given you kind of bare bone idea about what one mystery anyway is about, disappearance of Kara. I'm not going to mention any other mysteries, even about what they are or who they impact. But I will say this. Each mystery is twisty, turny and surprising. Some are in the past, of course some are in the present. There's question marks about certain characters, and sometimes those question marks are formed after you learn about certain mysteries, about past things. So for me, books like that are interesting because people shift in real life. And in books like this, when characters shift, when you learn different things about characters, that's intriguing. It makes you wonder what if, or what next. I do like that in this story. This book has dark themes and dark concepts of different characters at different times. It kind of drags you into those things as well. Gives you a different tone, a different feel to the story at those moments. So for me that's interesting because this story doesn't have a constant tone and feel. There's grey, there's white, there's black, there's grey, there's highs, there's lows, there's light moments, there's dark moments. There's a mix in this story, but I think it's well balanced. So in this video I'll mention the three main characters, the three characters in the same family. So first off, Joyce, who's the grandmother. I enjoyed her character in this book. You learn things about Joyce as you read this story. Things you learn about her can be shocking, surprising, but for me, it didn't really change how I felt about the character. So for me, this character is very vibrant, very full of life. In some ways, a bit of a cliche or stereotype. In some books, you have this grandmother character who's just larger than life, a bit loud, a bit vibrant, and kind of stands out, takes center stage in a room, that kind of thing. You get that sometimes with elderly characters, like grandmother characters in books. I've seen it here and there, and it does feel like a cliche sometimes when it happens, like a stereotype. In this book, I get a little bit of that feeling, but for me, she's got enough uniqueness to make her her own character, make her stand out for her own reasons, especially when you tie in her history and things she's gone through. It gives her more of a well-rounded approach in the story. So I do like her in the book a lot. Nicola is the most complex of all three of the main characters. Nicola is Joyce's daughter and Abby's mother. And her complexity comes from her past mainly. So when you understand her past fully, it makes sense to who she is in the story. And it feels consistent. Everything feels real. Nothing about who she is in the present day feels false or untrue to her past. So very cleverly written and very carefully written. So I did like that about her character. I like her relationships with her daughter and her mother. They feel complex. They're not perfect. That complexity makes everything about them feel real. So Nicola, for me, is so real in this story. You can see her, you can picture her. Very well done in the book. Abby, for me, is the least well written of the three main characters in this book. Now, Abby is Nicola's daughter and Joyce's granddaughter. For me, it's towards the end of the book where she starts to fall apart. I think there's things in there that are just forced forced on the character and forced on the reader even. And for me, it's not well done. Just feels a bit off. It feels a bit overdone. Doesn't suit the character. There's certain things about this character, I think, that are suggestive of certain things as the book progresses, and it kind of cements that idea towards the end of the story. But for me, it just felt a bit strange, a bit odd, like the author had a kind of an idea how to write a character like this, but didn't really fully form that idea well. So it made the character not that realistic to me in all ways. But in other ways, the character is realistic. Her reactions about certain things feel true, and she does feel like a real teenager in certain things as well. But in other ways, that teenager feel goes away and she feels too old for her years. I enjoyed this story. I enjoyed the mysteries. I enjoyed how that present day mystery doesn't always take center stage. It kind of flits in and out, as we learn about past mysteries as well, about past stories, and how the past directly impacted so cleverly the characters in the present. That was well done. It just felt like this book had a good structure, had a good plan, plotted very well, and it seemed like the author stuck true to how she wanted the book to go. Little things here and there I didn't like so much, but overall, very well done in my view. I rate this a 3.5 out of 5. This is very twisty, very turny, will surprise you, will shock you. Dark themes, dark concepts, light themes there as well. I mean, there's a bit of joy in the book as well. It's not all darkness, not all doom and gloom. There is light there as well with certain characters at certain times. So it's a good mix, I think, a good balance. On my channel, I review mini thrillers. If you enjoy thrillers, check out my channel and subscribe. On the screen now is a link to another video for a book I'm sure you'll enjoy.